I think I have a solution that would be on the magnitude of the easy button for men in marriages. If they had this solution, it would solve so many fights as easy as the easy button. I'm J. Lauren Norris with Leading Leaders Podcast. I want you to know in leadership, in relationships, whether you're talking about a marriage or you're talking about the culture of your company, you're talking about just a few friends that you hang out with when you go fishing or you go to the mall, that little circle of friends around you have powerful, powerful opportunities to sharpen your life. I want you to imagine for a moment the difference in the sound of the grindstone against the axe or the lawnmower blade, the sparks that fly, the friction that has to happen for the solid, hardened steel of the axe head to be sharpened to a fine point. But consider the axe head versus a knife, a kitchen knife. You may hear the metal slide across the knife sharpener. You might even think as you get closer to the edge you just bring out the whetstone, which doesn't even look like it would sharpen because it's just a smooth rock. And as you progress to the sharper and sharper edge, eventually you get down to just a leather strap. Well, the leather strap still provides the same thing, and that is friction, but now you're not taking off big chunks of metal, you're taking off the very small imperfections. See, all of our relationships have that same power in our life. The power to remove the rough edges, the power to break off the parts of us that are not sharp. Those things that are rough and they leave divots. When you try to chop with a dull axe, the work gets harder. I believe it was Abraham Lincoln who was credited with the statement, "If you want me to chop down a tree, give me the first hour to sharpen my axe." And think about that for a moment, how much the labor is reduced when the axe is sharp. I'm the same with cutting anything with a knife or a pair of scissors. It's a whole lot easier to get the work done when the blade is sharp. And so it is in your relationships, in your leadership, and leading your business and leading your organization. When you are sharp, when the edge is sharp, when it's refined, the work is a whole lot easier. But see, one of the challenges we find, especially with leaders, is the edge sharpening process requires friction. And some leaders, they're not up to the friction. They don't have the personal fortitude to be told they're wrong. They don't like to be corrected or challenged. They like to believe they're always right, and sometimes will go to the extent of being right at all costs. They really don't care how much impact their wrongness has on the organization as long as they get to feel like they're right. There was a story of a man who knew he was dying. He'd been to several doctors and no one could explain why his headaches simply wouldn't go away. Always had headaches, barely slept at night, but especially at work, on the job, constantly headaches. And he decided, I'm going to give it up, but I don't want my friends and family to bury me in some ridiculous looking suit. So I'll go buy my own suit before the day comes so that when I finally succumb to these headaches, at least I'll be dressed well. So he went to the tailor and asked them to make his shirts and make his jacket and fit his trousers. And as the measurements were being made, the tailor said, "Well, it looks like you got a 17-inch neck." And the man said, No, you're wrong. You're wrong. I have a 16-inch neck." And the tailor said, No, you have a 17-inch neck. I just measured. He said, No, I've worn a 16 all of my life, and I will not be buried in a shirt that's too big for me. I have a 16-inch neck. And the tailor replied, if you wear a 16-inch collar on a 17-inch neck, you're going to have constant headaches the whole time. The man said, "That's okay. I don't plan to wear this shirt, only to be buried in it." Yes, I know you get the lesson You could be right or you could be dead, right? No, the lesson is sometimes we get so caught up in what we believe to be right, that we can't hear anyone else's solution. So let me give you that life-changing miracle, that the easy button for marriages, the easy button even for culture and relationships of corporate leadership. Have you ever seen the show What Not to Wear? When they step into that room where everything is a mirror? I mean, can you imagine how many fights we would solve, that question that every man know not to answer, but some are crazy enough to do? Does this dress make my look big? You know what? If we could just snap our fingers or hit a button and poof, there's that room, and all of a sudden the mirrors all the way around reflect the truth and no one has to tell us. Suddenly we can see every flaw from every angle. We would never have to ask the question again, does this dress make my look big? No, because you would know. And if leaders could surround themselves in a culture, in an organization, in a community like that room, where the people around them are constantly revealing the things in them that need to be shaved off a little bit, maybe a little less grindstone and a little more leather strap would be called for, but we would have sharp leaders. If you're a leader and you find yourself in conflict, in friction, in the noise of the grindstone constantly in your life, ask yourself some of those questions that are in the text. Ask yourself, is there a chance that I'm demanding a size 16 shirt when I really need a 17? Have I caused myself this problem that seems like a problem unto death? I'm Jay Loren Norris with Leading Leaders Podcast for Tell It Like It Is TV. Have a blessed day.